Can changing the name of a place actually changes who owns it? Sounds crazy, right? But this is where geopolitics gets interesting. China has repeatedly given Chinese names to places in Arunachal Pradesh, but now India has responded. So what exactly has India done? Let's decode it in episode 2 of We and the World. The Survey of India has officially recorded 27 locations in Arunachal Pradesh using Indian names. But wait, did India discover 27 new places? No, these places already exist. India has only given them official recognition on its government map. Think of it in this way. Suppose a place in Madhya Pradesh is officially recorded on the Survey of India map. But would anyone make a huge geopolitical issue out of it? Probably not, because there is no such major territorial dispute surrounding that place. But when it comes to a disputed and strategically sensitive border region, the story completely changes. Why does it matter? These 27 locations include 21 land areas, 4 mountain passes, 1 lake, and 1 memorial. And why does putting names on maps matters? Because maps aren't just maps, they can become a tool of territorial and geopolitical assertion. China repeatedly renaming places in Arunachal Pradesh is a part of its broader territorial narrative. Meanwhile, India maintains that Arunachal Pradesh is an integral part of India. Some of its places have major historical and strategic importance, including Longju, Hangla, and places connected with 1962 India-China war. Then there is Tawang, deeply strategic, important, and deeply connected with Tibetan Buddhism. A much bigger issue also involves McMahon Line, which India accepts but China disputes. So remember, 27 names is not equals to 27 new places. It's a cartographic assertion in a much bigger India-China border dispute. So now, can you tell us, can maps become weapon of geopolitics? This was all for episode 2 of We and the World. Stay tuned for episode 3, and if you want notes for this explanation, comment notes and we will directly send it to your DM.